Have you ever felt like you're disappearing? I don't mean just feeling lonely or ignored. I mean literally fading away, like a ghost in your own life. That's what started happening to me in the town of Havenwood. I stumbled upon it by accident, a detour on a long road trip. It was one of those picture-perfect places with a charming main street, a friendly diner, and a sense of calm that felt almost unnatural. I decided to stay for a few days, soak it all in. The locals were nice enough, though a little reserved. There was the librarian, Ms. Eleanor, with eyes that seemed to hold ancient secrets, and old Mr. Abernathy, who ran the general store and always had a story to tell. The first hint that something was wrong came a week into my stay. I was talking to Sarah, the waitress at the diner, about a man I'd met my first day here. He was a musician, traveling through just like me. We'd had a great conversation, but when I mentioned his name, Sarah just gave me a blank look. "Sorry," she said, "I don't know anyone by that name." I brushed it off. Maybe she was new, or just forgot. People forget things all the time, right? But then it happened again. I was looking through the local newspaper archives in the library, trying to find an article about a festival that Mr. Abernathy had sworn happened just last spring. There was nothing. The dates were all there, but the week of the supposed festival was just normal news. Weather reports, town council meetings, no mention of parades or music. When I asked Miss Eleanor about it, she tilted her head. "A festival? I think you must be mistaken, dear. We haven't had a spring festival in years." I started to feel a chill that had nothing to do with the autumn air. I remembered conversations with people who were just passing through. A family in an RV, a backpacker heading west. I tried to find them, ask if they noticed anything strange. But they were gone. And when I asked about them, nobody remembered them. It was as if they had never existed. That's when I pieced it together. This wasn't just a town with bad memory. This was a town that erased people. The moment you cross the town line to leave, you don't just leave Havenwood. Havenwood leaves you. It scrubs you from its memory, from its history. I had to test the theory. I took a photo of myself with Sarah at the diner. The next day, I drove just a few feet past the "Welcome to Havenwood" sign, then immediately turned back around. I rushed to the diner, my heart pounding. Sarah was there, wiping down the counter. "Can I help you?" she asked, with the polite but distant tone she'd used on my very first day. She didn't recognize me. I pulled out my phone to show her the picture. My hands were shaking. I was in the photo, smiling, but the space next to me, where Sarah had been standing, was now just an empty booth. The terror was cold and absolute. I was trapped. If I left, my entire existence would be wiped clean from this place. Every conversation, every shared smile, every moment I'd spent here would vanish. But what about the outside world? Would my family forget me? Would my friends' memories of me simply dissolve? Would photos of me in their homes turn into empty spaces? I started documenting everything. I wrote in journals, took hundreds of photos, recorded hours of audio logs. I needed proof. Proof that I was here, proof that I existed. I became obsessed, interviewing the locals, trying to find a crack in the facade. They all had these strange gaps in their stories. A missing year in their teens, a friend they couldn't quite name, a spouse who supposedly moved away, but left no trace. They were all living in a story with missing pages, and they didn't even know it. The town itself seemed to be fighting me. My journal pages would sometimes go blank overnight. Digital photos would corrupt and become unreadable. It was like the town was a living entity, actively trying to patch the holes I was creating, trying to maintain its perfect, seamless, and horrifyingly fragile reality. One evening, I was speaking with Mr. Abernathy in his shop. He was telling a story about his childhood, about a fishing trip with his brother. He paused mid-sentence, a cloud of confusion passing over his face. "My brother, you know, it's funny. I can't for the life of me remember his name." He laughed it off, but I saw the flicker of fear in his eyes. The town had taken his brother, and he was just now, for a fleeting second, noticing the scar. That's when I realized the true horror of Havenwood. It wasn't just about being forgotten by others. It was about being forced to forget, The longer you stay, the more the town seeps into you. Your own memories start to fray at the edges. Little details blur, names become fuzzy, faces in your mind become indistinct. The town doesn't just erase you from its memory, it erases the world from yours. I started looking at my own photos from before I arrived. A picture of my sister at her graduation. Her face seemed less clear than I remembered. A photo of my parents on their anniversary. Was their front porch really that color? Panic clawed at my throat. It was happening to me. The town wasn't just erasing me from its past, it was erasing my past from me. I'm recording this now because I don't know how much time I have left. I'm starting to forget things. The name of the street I grew up on, my best friend's last name. It's like my life is a book, and someone is ripping out the pages one by one, starting from the beginning. I see people in town looking at me with a strange sense of pity, or is it recognition? Do they see what's happening to me? Are they all just like me, travelers who stayed too long and are now trapped in this fog of forgetting? Are we all just ghosts, haunting the empty spaces in each other's memories? Yesterday, I was looking in the mirror, and for a split second, I didn't recognize the person staring back. The face was mine, but the history behind the eyes was fading. It felt hollow, empty. I have a choice to make. I can stay here and slowly dissolve into nothing, becoming another nameless, faceless resident of a town that eats memories. A person with no past and no future, just an endless, quiet present. Or I can try to leave. I can make a run for it, cross that town line, and risk being completely erased from the world, a phantom that never was. But maybe, just maybe, if I get far enough away, I'll remember. Maybe my own mind is the one thing the town can't completely control. Maybe I can hold on to myself. I don't know what will happen. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this. If you are hearing this, then maybe it worked. Maybe a piece of me escaped. But as I stand here looking at the "Now Leaving Havenwood" sign, a terrifying thought occurs to me. What if I've already left? What if I've done this dozens of times before, each time hoping to escape, only to be pulled back, with a little less of myself than before? What if this isn't my first time telling this story? What if I'm already forgetting? My name. I have to remember. Thanks for listening.